Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while since we touched up on this. This was my first tutorial on this channel where we created this tree. It's been a few years. That was probably Blender 3.3 LTS as you can see it. Now we're in 4.3. So I figured we could update our trees on Spline with the latest things that have now come into Blender and of course some new workflows that I've developed. So the first thing we want to fix here is the UV unwrapping. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that we have recently come up with a new node, which is the UV unwrapper. But at this time, when I made this tutorial, we were using a different method of UV unwrapping, which also works, but this one is better. So I'm going to introduce that method over here and probably make some whatever updates we can make. This is going to be a very small, just an update for the people who have downloaded it so that you can probably, get the latest version and that can continue helping. I'm grateful to you all for your support and I hope you continue to enjoy it. So let's first of all kill this UV unwrapping node over here. I'm going to delete this. This will lose the texture on the bark and we're going to do it again. All right. So the first thing we could do is we have this tree material over here where we are attaching the PBR. So I'm going to delete this one. So let's get in UV unwrap. Now, if you followed that tutorial, there are a few ways to do it. Could do individual on each level, which is going the curve to mesh route. There are 3 different ways into it. If you're not familiar with this UV unwrap group, then I suggest you watch this video. Link will be somewhere. I will put the link over here and you'll get the entire process of how this works and how I created this. But for this video, I'll just import it and I'll make it work. So there are 3 ways into it. You can unwrap the meshes created via the curve to mesh method, and you can also unwrap the meshes that are just meshes. So since we are dealing with a very simple object, I'm just going to go simply attach this overall mesh here and connect this here. And this will give us this overlay. I'm just going to disconnect the leaves for a second and we can take a look at this. Let me turn off the scene world so we can get some flat lighting. And as you can see, it is all over the place. So this node group already has like a test UV and stuff applied to it. That material is pretty simple. I'll just show you. Now we want to see the UV test. Yeah, so currently this material is attached. So I'm going to change this to a tree UV. Let's call it tree. And I'm going to give it the PBR tree mapped, the old material that we have. And then let's go into the PBR tree. So over here, we just have to input this one, tree UV. I'm just going to change it to tree UV. And this should give us this one. Let's just connect the mapping node to a image texture and we can get in our color grid over here and we can connect it to output. There's a normal and displacement connected. Let me remove that for a second. So just we're going to type in the unwrap angle here, which is probably going to be pi by 4, which should unwrap pretty much everything here. Another thing, we are using a spiral here because in the old method, I was using a different method. So we'll go into the bark solidification and we'll change this from a spiral to a circle. So I'm going to go curve circle, connect the resolution over here. I'm going to leave the spiral here in case any of you face any debugging issues. And we're just going to connect the values as they are. I'm going to call it radius. So that solves our this thing. And as you can see, it has now become continuous. Of course, the scale is a little off. We can fix that. But before we fix that, let's go into level 1 solidification and do the same thing. Go circle. I'm going to connect a single value node to all 3 so that the radius can stay consistent. And we don't have to set cyclic over here because we're using a curve circle anyways. I'm just going to feed it directly. Same thing in level 2 solidification, get a circle. And now we can look at the sizing of these. And I think I need to just shade it smooth, or not. Actually, I need to click shade smooth over here. Yeah, on our UV unwrap node. And let's go into the scaling. We can delete this texture coordinate node and get this inside. So I think we are, of course, too large right now. So let's first connect this to a value node. Just try to simply increase it and see if this works out. Actually, this is giving us mesh, right? Yeah, I mean, if we want to do it really precisely, we probably should go into each of the solidification nodes and put this in there. Probably that would be a better idea. Let's try that. So we're going to abandon this one and we're going to go inside the solidification nodes. Let me just go first into the bark solidification, and we need to replace this curve to mesh with a UV unwrap node. So I'm going to go UV unwrap over here, and this is going towards the bark spline for an attribute, so we don't need to disturb this. Let's connect this to the input curve, change this to CTM plus signed because we are going for a, or let's just go to for a CTM method and connect this here. And then I can just feed the curve circle directly in here. And I can immediately see that we have a lot better profile because uh, like I said in the UV unwrap video, if you're going for a curve to mesh without caps, then this CTM method works better. If you want fill caps in this method, you can see that you probably then have to shift to CTM plus signed, which is also probably okay, but it's not straight. We can fix that from here. But doing it, like level by level modular is better for us, I think. So I guess it's fine for now. I can leave this and I can just give this the tree UV and PBR tree mapped. Let's try to see. We can change the rotation angle of this one to make it straight if we want. Let me see. But again, this is also dependent on, like, there's a curvature on the, like, these are made out of hand drawn splines, right? Like, you can go into edit mode, you can select the top point and you can just move your tree around, right? So probably it's because of that. So this angle you might have to adjust manually based on your style of tree, but I'll just set up something default so that at least if you have a straight tree, it probably kind of works out. Although you won't notice a difference really, even if it's curved, because let's just see if it's curved. What kind of output are we getting? I'm gonna connect this and connect the normal and connect the displacement. And yeah, I mean, the rotational difference is not really something to worry about, I think. As long as it's continuous, we're going to change this from this. I don't know why I put this ugly color in here. This is completely blackened out. So I'm just going to up this a bit. And all right, let's drop the saturation for this to like 0.6 or something. And we can see that the roughness values are also not coming in correctly. It's a bit too shiny for my taste, at least. Let's see it in the other view. Yeah, you can see that it's quite light. So I'll put up a math node in here. And you can, of course, tweak these settings based on your needs, but I'm just going to add some value to it on the roughness. Yeah, let's just make it 2 over here so that we have no chance to make it like shiny. And yeah, that's it for the branch. Now let me arrange this. I'm gonna leave this curve to mesh over here, and you can totally delete it because this UV unwrap node basically has all of this inside. Then we'll go into the other solidification group, which is this one. Again, go UV unwrap, connect this input here, connect the curve directly to profile, change this to CTM and send it out to the mesh input. Don't disturb the other inputs. And you can see that this one is also coming out nicely. It's a little bit stretched on the x-axis, I think. So, but it's probably not going to make a difference. Also, we are in this, let's go to tree UV and give this the PBR tree material to see if we can see the stretchings. But we can drop the overall displacement scale level maybe. Then let's go to the third one. I mean, the third solidification group. Go for a UV unwrapped. Once again, give this to input, change this to CTM, connect the curve circle and send it out. So this is gonna do this as well. Let's go out of here. Let's connect the leaves now. You can just pick up the animation group over here, and that is good now. We can throw out the material outputs right here so that you guys don't have to kind of go inside and do it. So I'm gonna send 3 more outputs over here. One is the UV name and other is the material. So coming out, we have now 2 more groups over here. And I'm just going to send them to the input directly. That's going to appear over here as UV name. And I'm going to send this one also to the input. And this we can change the name to like bark material, I guess. And now leaf is done using the stem over here, but leaf is pretty simple. There's no need for a UV over there. It's just like a plane mounted. Are we good on the angles and stuff of the leaves? That I'm gonna drop the leaf density so just I can check the angle again. Let's go to a higher density like 5 or something. Sorry, lower density like 5 or something. Yeah, the rotation is kind of no, actually it's probably fine. Oh no, it's not. It's not. So for that, we will have to go to the leaves group and fix the rotation over there. And this is, I mean, bound to happen because the rotation here is based on the depreciated align Euler to vector node. So I'm going to change this to align rotation to vector. That should probably work out fine right right out of the box, I think. So we have Z, Y, right? Let's do this and let's connect this here. We have to change this rotation group as well. So align rotation to vector, go for Z and Y. Let me see if there's anything else. We can probably remove this smooth node. It's crunching the geometry a bit. But we can do a smooth by angle between the neighboring faces, angle between adjustment faces, it's the same. So all right, this is I think done. Let me check any other settings that we have. I mean, this the other settings really don't matter because you're gonna import this into your design and you're gonna do your thing. So I'm just gonna save this one and I will then update the file name to reflect its 4.3.2, and then we can, you know, look at this again in a couple of years and update it and keep updating it and keep using it. So that's it for this video. I just made a small one to kind of update you. Also, this video is made because the audio quality on the trees on spline video was really bad. A lot of good people watched that video. A lot of you left comments, and I was really grateful at that time for starting up. Got into a bit of different job scenarios, so I couldn't upload for a year or so, and then I got back to it after a year. So I just wanted to touch base with my first followers and say hello to you again with a new file that those of you who have downloaded it can now download the new version with the better UV unwrap, and we can take it from there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.